Hi guys. Welcome back. Let's see what we're doing here. Classical French plan. Now, you remember, I posted this to you guys. This is what the original syllabus is. We're going to be changing it up a little, only because now it looks like we're going to be doing all online classes. How's the lighting here? I don't know. Okay. How's that? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to be, looks like we're doing it all online classes. As far as I know, we are at least, which is not necessarily the best thing for us to do, but we got to do it. It's a serious problem. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be posting a PowerPoint presentation along with the two recipes. This recipe, can you see? I've got a chicken liver pate and pate jambon. Now, this is a very nice pate, by the way. A lot of guys, you say, tastes like sundae because it has pork liver in it, and it does taste like sundae in a way. If you like sundae, it's good. I like sundae, especially good sundae, homemade sundae, not the stuff you get in the Shizan, the crappy stuff. You get the really good stuff. Sundae is a very, very nice dish. Now, the PowerPoint will contain a lot of notes and information. It's pretty long. Only because what we're talking about is, I gotta shave my head. What we're talking about is charcuterie, garde manger and charcuterie. Garde manger is mostly the entry level position for most people when they work in a hotel. They put you in the garde manger, which is making salads and cutting up soup, garnish, and it's a lot of simple stuff, easy to plate dishes. You don't make the patés. Obviously, if you're new, you're not. But as garde manger goes on, you are the one making the pâtés. And pâtés, terrines, galantines, which you saw in the first video, the galantine. The reason why I put that first, so you get an idea of what the concept of this class is. The classical French cooking really like to take something and change it to something that didn't even look like the original creature. Right? Obviously, the galantine started out as a whole chicken and ended up looking like a sausage. Right? So that's a lot of classical French stuff is like that. And the reason why I put that one first, even though it's the most difficult one, I thought we'd be getting into the class quickly. I thought we'd be getting into class this week. Really, I actually was ready to order all the food. Because if we do get into the class, I want you guys to get as much as you can in the short amount of time. And the galantine is it's a nice dish, it really is. And once again, in the PowerPoint and the charcuterie and things like that, you'll see a lot more of where we're going. The same thing with the two pâtés. Once again, these are very simple, basic recipes, but they're once again, you can expand them any way. Once again, your homework was about the galantine. What could you make a galantine out of? And hopefully you sent in your homework by now. I haven't checked it. But anyway, homework is for you to study. You don't have to tell me. I got plenty of ideas how to make galantines out of other things. But once again, it's for you to study. And this is a time for you guys to really, even though we're doing this stuff online, you really have to study yourself. You have to be, there's a term called autodidactical. Autodidactical. Self-study. That's basically what it means, and that's what we're into right now. I'm going to be filming the 10th. Look at the calendar up there. See the 10th. I'm going to be filming the 10th. Some of you guys are coming in, which is good. Actually, when you see this, it's going to be the 14th. So, thank you for your help tomorrow, if you come in. So that's what the whole concept of this class is garde manger and charcuterie. Charcuterie covers things like, we're not going to do that, making bacon, ham, jamon, terrines, galantines, pâtés, mousses. The chicken pâté is kind of like a mousse. Le mousse. Because it's kind of soft. You can pipe it out into crackers, hors d'oeuvres, and things like that. Now, all the recipes we're doing here are very classical. Classical means there's a lot of fat in it. Really, a lot of daiji gidam, a lot of other just a lot of like alcohol, meat. Which once again, you can make pates out of vegetables. Mushrooms make a nice pate, and there are classical recipes with mushrooms, almost pure mushrooms in there. But I mean, like foie de gras, which I think everybody knows foie de gras, the goose liver one. I mean, it's really the classical French is really heavily meat based. So once again, and that's what this class is, classical French. We're not going to go into the new style stuff, but there's a lot of great new style stuff. And I really, whoa, I got a lot of action going on here. Excuse me for a second. But anyway, I'll keep talking. Yep, okay. Wow. Okay. Let me get to that. Let me turn off the sound so it doesn't make you and me crazy. So once again, like I said, in this class, we're going to be doing a lot of things with meat and changing things from what they were until what they look like. I ordered, which is not on the syllabus, I ordered some salmon. We're going to make gravlax. Gravlax is that's not on the recipe on the PowerPoint, but I'll give you the recipe for it. Like I said, I'm going to be changing this up a lot because, believe it or not, we can do a lot more online than we could do offline. We do offline, we basically do one recipe one day because it's much slower with the students working, so I can move a little faster. And I might as well show you some more things. Gravlax is like a preserved salmon from Norway, and it's with salt and sugar, dill, and you pack it in. It's going to take. I'm going to start it in class, and then it takes 2 weeks for it to cure, and it comes out like smoked salmon. It comes out like a dry smoked salmon. You slice it thin, serve it with like a dill mayonnaise, which we make a lot of mayonnaise in this class, that's for sure. Different flavored mayonnaises, because most of the charcuterie is served cold. It really is. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be, because I've taken galantines and thrown them in the oven, a hot oven, and roasted them. They come out a little drier. Obviously, we'd have to change the initial recipe, because you guys generally don't like a lot of cold meat items. You like it warm. You didn't like cold chicken, or and pates, I told you even in the last class that pates, Spam is a pate. It's a perfect example of what a pate is. It's a ham pate, which is, I like Spam now. I mean, I kind of didn't like it so much. We used to eat it when we go camping and stuff. But when I came to Korea, I really grew very fond of it. It's a nice item, it really is. And it is a pate. In the simplest, it's a terrine, actually. Now, the difference between a terrine and a pate is that a terrine you serve in the vessel you cook it in. So you'd have a very nice little terrine, which would be nice shape and things like that, and you'd serve it in it. You pop that out, and basically you have a pate. So it's kind of interesting. But when you make, like we do the chicken pate, that's going to be served in the container, but it's not cooked in that container. So that's, once again, not really a terrine. I guess it gets confusing. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, but don't worry about it. I got some pate molds. We've got 2 different styles. You can see the shapes of them. I don't know if you can really. This one's square, and this one's rounded. Maybe the back of it would be better to see. All right. Well, these are pate molds. They're not terrine molds, because you would never serve it in something like this. A terrine mold is usually a lot prettier, and it has floral patterns on the side and stuff. This whole artwork. You look up terrines. You'll see. A lot of them are cast iron, very heavy for cooking, because you want to cook pates and terrines and galantines. So you want to cook them slow. You don't want to cook them fast, because they come out way too dry. So if you remember when we cooked the galantine, it was a slow simmer at 20 minutes per 500 grams. Now that once again varies a lot. Some students, if we made it in class, you'll see some students make really fat ones, some make thin ones. So a thin one cooks quicker, a fat one doesn't. So once again, it is really culinary arts and not culinary science. So that being said, you have to really practice this stuff several times. Now, I worked at a 5-star hotel, and I started out as garde manger, and I never never moved out of that station. I moved up to shift supervisor, which was pretty good for my age. This was pre CIA. This was in the early 80s. This is before I went to school. And I moved up 3 ranks up into the AM shift supervisor. Once again, I wasn't going to say chef, but I was in charge of the station. So I started learning pâtés then. And not too many places really do pâtés anymore, except for 5-star hotels. And we had a European chef. So he was from Bulgaria. So he really liked these really meaty, heavy pâtés. We made from lamb meat, pork, mostly pork. Usually use pork fat. Sometimes you use tallow, which is beef fat. Now, Americans really don't like beef fat that much. You guys seem to like it a lot when it comes to like, if you go out to the like bulgogi place, you want a lot of fat on your meat. I guess it's understandable. It's understandable. Bacon figures heavy in his smoked meats in general. Smoked jopal, but we have it smoked. You use that, a lot of that. You take that off the bone. You grind that up. It's really, really good flavor. Some of these things we just can't get here. A lot of the smoked meats and the high quality hams are a little hard to get in Korea in general. But we're going to do our best. Don't you worry about that. We're going to do our best. So after this, you're going to go to the PowerPoint. Watch the PowerPoint. It's going to be long, but once again, you can stop it, start it, stop it, start it, as need be. And then we'll get into the kitchen and do this. Okay? Take care. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.